I'm a staff attorney in the Health and Independence Unit at Community Legal Services. So Community Legal Services is a legal aid organization that serves low-income Philadelphians.
So we talk about SNAP. What is that looking like right now at CLS?
SNAP is looking challenging at CLS. We're dealing right now with the implementation of work requirements on top of the fact that as of October 16th, Pennsylvania DHS has stopped issuing SNAP benefits because of the government shutdown. So these are folks who rely on SNAP benefits to feed their families, to put food on the table. They're being expected to continue, filling out their renewals, filling out their semi-annual reports, reporting if they're complying with the work requirements. And as it stands, they're not going to be getting any benefits in November.
Talk to me, I mean, what has this outreach been like? Have people been calling? I know on the 16th, so what was that last week? 10 days ago, 11 days ago, whatever day is today. 11 days ago, that happened. What is the outreach? Have people been calling you? What are people asking? Sort of, what does this lead up to November 1st?
Yeah, we at CLS have been hearing from a lot of our clients. People have heard about this through the grapevine. They've heard about it from their neighbors or people at work. And, I think sadly people are calling us and hoping us to dispel this rumor. And unfortunately, they call and we have to tell them that it's true. And, until the shutdown ends, they're not going to be getting the benefits that they're counting on and have, built into their budgets over however many months that they've been receiving them. And it's just really devastating. It's especially devastating this time of year when it's starting to get colder, and families are going to have to choose between paying their heating bill and putting food on the table. LIHEAP benefits are also delayed until December. So those are benefits that help people pay for typically heating bills this time of year, and avoid getting their heat shut off. So families who rely on LIHEAP, on SNAP, they're in a really, really challenging and nearly impossible position.
Put that on top of it's the holiday season, things are so expensive. It feels like it's the perfect storm right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can tell our clients, we can tell Philadelphians, and we want them to know that there are food banks, and people can get help finding food. On the other hand, like many of our clients have disabilities that make it really hard for them to get to food banks. Food banks hours are generally restricted, which makes sense. They can only hand out food for so long, but clients and people who are working might not be able to make it there on time or might not be able to get to one in their area. So it is a perfect storm, and yeah, it's unfortunately something that people call us and we have to just confirm the bad news about, which is challenging.
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to talk to you and what you just said. First off, when people are calling you right now, what are you telling them? What should people be doing? If they're watching this, maybe they don't know about CLS. If someone is a SNAP benefit recipient and they're watching this right now and might be just finding out about everything, what should they be doing right now?
If someone is just finding out that they're not going to get their SNAP benefits for November, I would suggest they start thinking about where they might be able to get support, getting food for the coming weeks. I mean, historically, when this has happened in the past, people get their benefits retroactively. So when the government reopens, you know, people should receive their November benefits, albeit late. In the meantime, we are just suggesting that people go on the Share Food Programs website, the City of Philadelphia. I think it's phila.gov/food. You can type in your address and find pantries nearby with hours, phone numbers, addresses, and things like that. But again, I understand it's sort of an inadequate and really frustrating response when it's such a large issue and families are feeling so squeezed to say, okay, go look for a food pantry. It's challenging.
Yeah. Talk to me about the specifics of the EBT card. And I know this sort of just depends on the state. If I'm in Pennsylvania and I have benefits on my EBT card, are those going to be frozen come November? Do we know that at this point?
So that is, as far as we know, an untrue and unsubstantiated rumor. People, if they have benefits left over from October, they should be able to use those benefits throughout November. That's money that's already been appropriated, it's been put on their card. So we definitely do not want people rushing out to try to use up their benefits at the end of October, thinking they're not going to be able to buy anything in November. That is, we have no confirmation of that. It's untrue.
How can this get reversed? Can this change before November 1st, or is this a runaway train?
I think it can change before November 1st. I think as soon as the government reopens, states can start working to start, loading benefits onto SNAP recipients' cards. It doesn't mean they might not be delayed at this point, but obviously slightly delayed benefits are better than no benefits at all. Or, benefits delayed for a week are better than benefits delayed for a month or 6 weeks. So it can change. I hope that it changes because, as we've discussed, it is just this perfect storm for families who are already feeling so squeezed, and it's a really challenging time of year. So, yeah, I have to have hope, I guess.
Describe for me the need. We see the numbers, 30% of Philadelphians are SNAP benefit recipients. Just describe for me the need and what you're taking phone call wise, you're seeing through the doors.
Yeah, over 2 million Pennsylvanians rely on SNAP. That's 1 in 7 Pennsylvanians. And like you said, 30% of Philadelphians. And SNAP is really integral to people's lives, whether they're working a low wage job or they are, disabled or dealing with a chronic health condition. This is something that people build into their budget to help supplement, I mean, it's in the name, their food purchases. It's not a huge amount of money. The average SNAP benefit is $180 per month per person. That's $6 per day. So again, this isn't something that usually covers all of anyone's food expenses, but it's something that's really important. And people rely on to put food on the table for their families, especially when food prices are so high. And other expenses are mounting this time of year, especially. So, I mean, our clients who are hearing that they're not going to be getting their November SNAP benefits, whether they have young children, or they're living alone and they have a disability and may have issues getting to food pantries. It's devastating in any of those scenarios. These are people who really, really need that help, to buy the food that they need to survive.
What should folks that might not be able to get to a food bank, what should they be doing?
Oh gosh, that's a tough question. I mean, if it's someone I've been working with for a long time, then we're talking and thinking about like family members or community members who may be able to help. Sometimes people are connected to churches who are able to deliver food. For seniors, there's a senior food box program. There are options for people who might have difficulty getting to food banks, but again, they're limited. And it's challenging to have those conversations for people who are isolated and cut off from the supports that they need because the resources are limited.